Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit them right in the chest. It be looking like magic, better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone, I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones. And you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long, pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash the scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they seeing double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back, never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag, I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun blast on one out snap. It's a fact that I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hush with My Podcast. And I'm going to go ahead and get into it and introduce the gentleman that's on the panel right now, starting with the assassin, AC Cookie,
What's up? I'm Austin.
and another legend in these coast streets, Harish Ukala. And
And I was on mute. What's up, guys?
oh,
Going.
see, finally, another person that's on mute and talking because I've been screwing up for these past couple
Happens to the best of
episodes.
us.
But what's good, Coach fans? It's been a while since last week since we had an episode, but it's good to be back on the episode where we can give you all this coach content surrounding the coach because every offseason is going to be something about this team, whether it be contract dispute, players hurt, etc. There's always something. Um, but in this episode, but before we get into the episode, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Also follow the network at fanandbattlesports.com where you can find out our past episodes, content, and also we still doing merch, Harish? Or that's
Are we still doing what?
the merch, Coast merch.
Oh yeah. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Still working on the merch, so you'll see
still working on the merch. Working on a lot of different things. So yeah, stuff is
yes. So yeah, check that out. But it's a new, I wouldn't say sheriff in town, but we do have a new ownership that's about to take over, and it's a three-headed monster. Kaylin, is it Kaylin, Carly, and who else? Can't remember she ain't been around a lot, but we got three-headed monster. We got a new head of the table as wrestling people that watch wrestling. You got three new people at the head of the table, and they had a press conference today that gives all of us hope. Who wants to be the first? You know what? Also, you be the first to speak on what you think and what you heard on the presser about them taking over and what the fans should expect moving forward with the new lead uh, and the three ladies. I can't remember. I know it's Kaylin and I know there's Carly. The other one I haven't known much about her, but uh, she was speaking highly of the team and moving forward where they'll be as owners. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, they learned everything they know from Jim Irsay, but I don't think they're gonna run the team exactly like he ran the team. I feel like, he was very like a oriented person. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, and I think they are as well, but I think they know it's a business and they're gonna run it more like a business. And hopefully that leads to more accountability, which we preach every season, year after year. Um, you know, I feel like people, whenever they knew they were taking over, people were saying they need to sell or whatever. They didn't trust the sisters, the daughters to take over. But I feel like it's this new era I feel like is going to be better moving forward for us.
I agree. What's your take on that, Arish? I know you're excited before we came on the show. Hey, Teresa.
Yeah, no, no. I think if anything, and I think Teresa said it here, right? Actually, they're going to do a lot better than a lot of men in this business too. Like if we look at 90, 80 or 90% of this league that are run by men, a bunch of them are a bunch of idiots. Like they're dumb, they're stupid, they don't know what they're doing, right? And they're in it for the money, right? I think the one thing that stuck out to me is um the demeanor and the seriousness behind like a lot of the words they said. Um, I think they've been around the business long enough, and they've also been just in business, and they've learned a lot from their dad. And look, I think to what Austin said, like I don't think they want to lose the family aspect to it, but I think at the end of the day, they understand. And maybe this is them coming. I'm not trying to be like man versus woman or anything, right? But I think them like trying to figure out their ways in this new space in these new roles. They
Yeah,
understand their path to success is winning, right? And they're going to run this operation and this franchise that way. And we'll dive deep. There are two points that stuck out to me. I'm just like, okay, I think this. We're finally going to be serious about stuff, and we're not just like blowing smoke because I think we've been.
say it again. I couldn't hear you. The mic was.
I said I think we've been blowing smoke in this organization for a long time.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, it was a great thing to hear all of them speaking, not just Carly, who's the CEO person is going to be pretty much making the final say, had the final say. But I like what I forget the name, Casey and Kaylin had their input and how they would help her run the team. It's very exciting. You know, they all have like she said they all have they knack on what they knack and their strength and weaknesses, which you know they like they said they've been in all the meetings, they've been into the interviews to hire a coach or a GM or anybody in the executive team in the front office. They've been in those meetings. People thought maybe they just been getting their nails done and getting their hair done, but they actually been in the meetings grooming themselves to be in this position. They like they said, Casey said that they knew one day they'd be in this position, be owner. It just so happened to be sooner than they expected. They weren't expecting to be, this year. But things happens, things happens. But like both of you guys said, Irsay prepared them to be in this situation to be able to run a team. And I'm happy that they're gonna run it collectively together with their own strengths. I didn't like the question about if they, I think it was why Stephen Holder asked about them getting into it or having a disagreement. That's come on now. That's it wasn't the right place to be asking them how they handle having a disagreement.
You don't think so? I think it's an excellent place to ask that question. Like it's very valid. Here's the thing. Like you're running an organization now, right? You are now responsible for this organization. So when you have three different personalities that are all co-owning this thing, I think it's a very valid question to ask. I think it's important to understand, like, and you might not know all the details, and you don't have to divulge all the details, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, as a group, like, how are obviously disagreements will happen. How are you gonna maneuver through those things? You might not know the answer. I don't know, right? But I think it's a valid question. I don't. I disagree. Like I think it's a really good question. Like the three of us are never going to agree on anything, right? If somebody asks us though, we're not gonna be like, man, don't ask us that. Like we agree on everything. Like we all like that just doesn't make sense, right? But then how do we talk through that if we disagree on something or agree on something, right? Like, I think that's important. So I don't think it was a bad question. But you guys are the face of this franchise now. So how are you going to maneuver through some of those things that are kind of new? And they might not know, but I think it's a valid question.
Well, I mean, they just buried their. I'm only saying that based off they just buried their dad 8 days ago.
Oh yeah,
Ask them about how they will handle a disagreement. They haven't they've been in those shoes yet. You know, at least wait until after the first game or before the first game. You know, just give it more time for grieving period. You know, 8 days ago is kind of they don't know how they will act.
yeah,
They just been owner. Officially today. Today, well, officially whenever they announced it. I
yeah.
think it's Friday or something like that. They announced it. So they haven't had the time to really grasp, having a disagreement. I mean, obviously they sisters. They've been disagreeing for years, but they haven't been in the shoes yet to disagree. For as should we fire Ballard? Should we fire Shane Betty?
Oh
Shane
yeah, for sure.
Steichen? You know, one gonna say probably not. One gonna say hell yeah, and it's just right now it's not the place to just right now. I mean, they could exit at some point. Just right now, it just didn't seem like it was right. But I'm happy for them being in the shoes. We always said this in the past that if something is wrong with seriously wrong with Jim Irsay, that he should give this to his daughter. We've been saying it.
We've
We're
sensed
not
it.
like
Yeah.
this, huh?
We've sensed it for a couple of years now. Like he's been really distant. He was really distant the last 2 years. He wasn't really saying much. So I think we all sensed something. Now I don't know if we'll ever find out what happened or why he passed. Right? Unless
Right.
something's come out, and I don't know if we'll ever know. Maybe like sometime in the future, right? But I still like to this day I don't think we know what actually happened.
But it just well, I think I got some quotes that I can read from what at least what Carly said. Carly spoke on let's see what she said. What she said. She said she wanted the Colts fans to know that we will continue to work tirelessly on living our mission statements to entertain, inspire, and unite by winning the right way as we do as an organization on the field and as a community. That's important. Winning the right way. Uh, we haven't been winning, so they want to build a winning organization moving forward, even though that's the standard prior to having those down years. That's the standard. They want to get back to that. And it just shows that they're ready. They want to win. Their goal, their goal before he passed was to win a Super Bowl, bring it to Indy, and that's what Kaylin said as well. She said that that's what they wanted, and they wish he had been here to see that. So
Sure.
that's what they want. And typically you don't hear that often in the passing of a torch, rather. So
Yep.
it's exciting. New blood is always good. It, it, we don't know if changes gonna be made after the season, depending on how the season goes. Could be new front office and new head coach. We don't know. We don't know yet. We just know that we got new bosses. Uh, it's back to business, and congratulations to them being new owners, co-owners. And I'm excited to see what's to come. Any final say on this before we move on?
No, is this where we want to talk about like any quotes that they said or anything?
You can go ahead.
So there's two quotes that stuck out to me. Number one was Carly on Anthony Richardson said he has all the potential in the world. If he wants to prove it, he can. Like to me, that's like a clear message directly to him saying, "This is your time, and if you want to show that you can be the guy, then do it now, or else we're not going to stick with you very much longer."
Right.
Like that's kind of how I took that, right? Like this is your, and it's kind of interesting that it came now because he just injured himself again. What that means, we don't really know. It's he's spraying the same AC joint. Like I understand we don't want to panic. It's only June, right? But you do kind of want to panic because it's already June and he's getting hurt. Does that make sense? Like that sounds really weird. AR has to play this preseason, in my opinion. He's got to play the entire preseason. Like he's got no luxury to sit out in the preseason. Like whatever, if it's like one series, one and quarter, I don't care. Like he has to play. I would even go as far as like he's got to play probably as long as you know maybe a quarter per game at least minimum. You've got to
Mhm.
be able to know that he can be durable throughout that entire time, right? So I was kind of curious what you guys think about that. Like to me, that's like I think they're moving really, really quickly, and they're kind of like saying it without saying it. Uh, so he said that, which I thought was really interesting. Um,
I'll let you go ahead, Austin, and I'll tell
yeah,
my. I will respond with my take as well.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like what we've been saying, this year is boomer bust for AR, and they just pretty much confirmed that. I thought it was interesting where they said, it's not necessarily playoff or bust for Ballard and Steichen, but they know uh, I forget the word. It's a simple word.
standard.
Yeah, standard. They know the standard, but it's not necessarily playoff or bust,
Yeah,
which we talked about that last week. We thought, maybe it would be, but we won't really know until the end of the year. But I just thought that was kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, like you said, those two know that the goals haven't been met. The two I'm mentioning is uh, Chris Ballard, the GM, and then the head coach Shane Steichen. Um, and they haven't been met. Playoffs haven't been met. Division big title haven't been met since he been GM in 9 years, almost 9 years. Shane Steichen is 19 in 2 years. Oh, we spoke about that last episode. It hadn't been met. When it come down to AR, she's pretty much, no pun intended, putting the onus and having holding him accountable, putting that on his shoulders. It's up to you if you want to be that guy. We drafted you fourth overall for a reason. It's up to you to live up to that hype, live up to that draft pick, live up to the hype that's been placed from the combine. He showed a glimpse, but that she mentioned injuries, so she's giving him a pass for the injuries. But the rest of the stuff is gonna have to be up to him to take that next step to be a franchise quarterback, especially for the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of fans has already have given up, and they've been saying that they rather have a bomb at quarterback, as long as it's not AR, which is stupid because if AR bomb a bomb and you want another bomb, you're not going anywhere. What people say outlandish things just to because they're frustrated. I think sometimes alcohol shouldn't be next to anybody anyway. Um, but it's just they seem I know it's day one. They seem serious. They seem like they're ready to take the torch and have us set for the future, and I'm excited for that. Whether, like Austin said, it might not be a boom or bust season for the team. They're not looking for possibly not winning, and they're not really thinking about losing either. Just hey, they're in the motion of what happens. We'll talk about that at the end of the season, or we'll deal with whatever the results is. If they lose out, then they may clean house. If they win, then hey, we may see Chris Ballard another year, which a lot of fans don't want. But hey, they
I think
but
it's about the journey to get there,
yeah,
right? It's not about the end result. It's how did we get to that result? And they talked a little bit about like, well, what if some people get hurt and we do this and this and that and that. And I think there's that, but I think there's another thing where it's like, and to go back on what Austin said, she said they have trust in Ballard, but he also understands that the standard hasn't been met, and for I think this is the key part for way too long. I think that was the key part. Like to me, that was glaring. That was like, oh, these guys aren't playing around. Like when you notice that decisions have been made for a long time, like they're not playing around. Like it literally has come down to it has come down to like you get this done. You as in like Ballard, right? They didn't really tie Steichen to Ballard either. It's like naturally that's what happens, but we'll kind of look at that as time comes. We don't really know, right? Um, and then they kind of mentioned Frank Reich and how like the chemistry wasn't there and how important that was loosely, right? And then it's like Steichen and Ballard seem to be more on the same page. So it sounds like they would be more likely tied at the hip. So there's just a lot of like interesting things they said, but I do think we're heading towards a new era of accountability because I think that's the one thing Jim lacked, and they talked about that a lot. How like Jim was really hands off, and he was like the furthest thing from a micromanager. And people that thought he was like have I no idea who their dad is. And if you're a Colts fan and you thought Jim was a micromanager, you're crazy. Like he was nowhere close to it.
I always say he wasn't. He was never
Yeah.
a micromanager ever. That's why Ballard was still here.
Yeah, it's almost to a fault he wasn't a micromanager, right? So, and I think it's really interesting. I'm very interested to see how things play out.
We've been talking about this guy for the longest. For a brief moment, we've been talking about this guy, but the news of AR. I know Teresa mentioned in the comments that he needed a second opinion. He did fly out to California to have an opinion with the guy that completed his surgery. It's been several different things that have been put out. Saint Steichen said that he can miss all the training camp. Then this guy Albert Bree said that it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Somebody else said something else. Jeremy Fowler said that it just need rest. He should be fine. He should be ready for training camp. So there's a lot of things that's been said for three different people. I don't know what's real or I don't know what to believe with all those three. I know head coach is inside. He got the inside on what's going on. I know the other guys are understanding what's going on too, far as the surgery and throwing motion and throwing and having it to heal. But what do you guys think about this news? I mean, are you worried, or is it something that he just needs to rest and he should be ready? He should be fine. No need to panic because there's a lot going on right now. Too many people too many people are putting out stuff for this guy every day. So, what y'all think about that? Go ahead, Uri.
Just wait and see. I mean, like that's literally where I'm at. Wait and see. I don't want to make speculations. I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no. And I don't want to put pressure on them. Obviously, I'm just some random guy on a podcast, right? Not saying I want to put pressure on him, but my feelings are very, very, straightforward about how I feel about the situation at this point. Um, and to me, he's unreliable. I can't trust him at this point. I can't trust him to be healthy. I can't trust him to be the leader of this team. I can't trust him to do anything. And it's not a panic mode. Like this is now, like to me, we're at a point to where this is now a trend. This isn't like a one. Like the first time it happened, it was a freak injury. Fine. Then you had the concussion happen. Like that. That's not something you can control. Fine. Right. Then you go and get into year two. He gave up on the team. Then he gets hurt. He's out again. Fine. AC joint thing 2 years ago. Fine. Now we're having issues with the AC joint again. Right. He's he's unreal. You cannot rely on him at this point. And so if I were the Colts, I would be operating at this point as if AR is not going to be the starter. Like I would not like if you're indefinitely out, you're already behind the eight ball, you're unreliable. You should be operating as if he's not going to be the starter. Like you should be going into week one because there's so much unknown to say, I don't know what's going to happen. Right. And look, I'm not saying like what osteoarthritis. Like, I'm not saying like this is invalid, but we're trying to run a football team here, and we're trying to win football games in an organization that has not performed, right? Not here for personal like opinions or personal like self development. You're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, and you can't do what we're asking you to do, right? He has yet to prove to us that he can be consistent in what we've expected of him. And I think I'm at a point where I'm starting to lose my patience with Anthony Richardson, like Teresa said, and every little thing that's like, oh, I need a second opinion. Like, that's not a good sign. Needing a second opinion is not a good sign a month before training camp. Could it just be like safe? Potentially. But at this point, I just don't I'm not relying on Anthony Richardson to be the guy. If it happens, awesome. I just am not banking on
Well, it's a fair point. At this point right now, he hasn't shown much to have that confidence, have to be sure that hey, this is a guy that can lead us to anything. Um, and I just took it as that he's been practicing, he's been throwing and throwing the 200 balls. They said, and it's just sore, and they just wanted to just double check on what it is because he don't want to re-aggravate it because it's just sore. So I'm like, okay, well, he has been working towards trying to be QB1 in a competition with a guy that could take his spot. And I don't know if it was just doing too much. I don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. We don't know what happened. And people have all the right to give up. I know Sarah says she's over him. There's no need to apologize. I mean, at this point right now, until he prove it, you have the right to believe that. Um, and that was the goal coming into the season is that him being, as a make or break year. We've been saying that. I mean, I don't know how many episodes we said that. We've said make or break year, make or break year. It could be the year that he don't make it. Am I fine with that? Not really, because I was high on him. But am I gonna leave the team because they had to move on from him? This is the business. That happens all the time. I mean, you think that Arizona fans were mad when Josh Rosen didn't work out, and they got Kyler Murray the next year working out. I mean, they're not winning a whole lot of games, but it's just the fact they got a guy first overall. And I'm not saying we should tank for this upcoming season. I'm not saying that. I don't think we can afford to tank. We just have to work with the cards that we've been dealt with. Anything on that, Austin? I know I had stepped away.
Yeah. So to me, like you said, he was ramping up, you know, throwing more than he was all off season, and then he had some soreness. And I feel like it's kind of smart to go to the expert, the guy that did your surgery, to kind of get his opinion on everything to see if anything's wrong or if it is just soreness and needs rest. So I think people are looking way too much into the second opinion thing, but for him to be out already, I understand the overreaction on that. But the second opinion thing, I feel like doesn't really mean much.
I think
And
it's just
then
compounded, right? It's less about him getting the. I don't care about the second opinion. It's the fact that the history that he has and the fact that it's just like another thing on top of it. Right? It was like with the Andrew Luck, right? Like Andrew Luck came back, he threw in a practice, and then he did this, and then like Andrew Luck, oh, you know what? It's Andrew Luck. It's that whole thing all over. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, for all we know, right? Yep, Anthony Richardson is out for the season. Like, we just don't know, and it's that uncertainty in your franchise quarterback again. And I think it's
Is
more
it
of
the
that and
PTSD,
less of the second opinion.
is it the PTSD from Peyton Manning, from Andrew Luck when things happened? It was like the team didn't put all the information out with because we thought Peyton Manning's gonna be back that same year, and he was out for the year. Andrew Luck came back after 2018, 2019. He was like, I can't. He went skating, skiing somewhere and got hurt. But they didn't say that. They said that we found that after the fact that he was skiing, and we had a different outlook, but people love him still. You know, they didn't care if he just broke a foot, as long as he can play week one. Then Andrew Luck is loved. It's a standard, man. We're trying to win. We're trying to win games, and win games is not right now. It's not not happening. And he's supposed to be the guy that leads. Um, right now, the only quarterback in his draft that's flourishing and doing well is C.J. Stroud. I mean, Bryce Young is doing okay, but it's not having amount to any wins. That team just sucks still. But the organization overall is just trash. But C.J. Stroud has elevated the Texans, and I hate to say that. Uh, it's true. He elevated the Texans. They keep adding pieces for him to succeed in the league. Right now, the team can't keep adding, will not add pieces other than like draft picks for Anthony Richardson because he's not durable. He's not behind center. He's not accurate. He's not. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can say that shows that he's inconsistent across the board. But yeah, what, Harish?
Nope, nothing.
Oh, I thought you was like,
I'm good.
but we can go ahead and move on to the next.
I don't think Austin ever finished his thought. I interrupted.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, that's all good. Like, yeah, his injuries have obviously been his main problem because we can't see what we have if he's never on the field for more than 5 games. Um, so he needs to, hopefully it is just rest and he's able to compete for the QB1 job. Because I mean, I still want him to be our quarterback, but if he's hurt this year, then it has to be over. We have to move on. Like we can't just keep hoping he's gonna somehow stay healthy if he's just gonna be hurt all year again.
I
So
agree, Jeff.
that's
That's
what
a
I
big
think.
thing. It just, I'm sorry, I saw that coming. I agree. Um, I mean, we all feel the same way. I mean, patience is thin. It's thin for me. And that's me being an advocate of getting him, based off the potential, based off the ceiling that he has. He is very very high. It's just that he haven't met that ceiling yet. So I agree with both of you guys' takes, and that's where we at right now. I mean, even Sarah said, "Just give me Danny Dimes." I'm not gonna call him Danny Dimes. I'm just gonna call him Daniel Jones because he haven't earned Danny Danny Dimes. Um, but he has been practicing well, so I will give him that. Um, he's been throwing to his targets like Tyler Warren. I think it's AD Mitchell. Yeah, AD Mitchell. Uh, I love Warren. Yeah, definitely. She said, "Oh, she was for you." I think she was when you go to Google and search. I think this for you.
Is this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Austin, do you
But
know something we don't know?
I don't.
Austin has sources we don't have.
come on now. I know you know something. I know you know something. But next, moving on.
Oh, whoa, whoa!
What?
Disappearing. He disappeared.
Oh man.
Yeah, Austin's leaving. That means he knows something.
Yeah, he's not telling us anything either. Just he's so selfish. But moving on to the next segment. Coach part ways with Morocco Brown, uh, the executive who played a part in drafting Anthony Richardson. Now, don't quote me on this. I am not saying that with the latest injury update to Anthony Richardson, they parted ways with him because of that. I'm not saying that those two in correlation, but what do you guys take on that? A brief take on him being fired, essentially. Go ahead, Austin.
I don't really know. It's just, it was never made a big deal by anybody that's around the team. So I don't really know like why it happened. So like all we can do is speculate. And if it is them essentially giving up on AR, then you feel like a lot more changes will happen, not just that.
Go ahead, Harish.
I don't know what this is. It's so hard because like even if you like, did you guys watch the draft series this year?
I
Like
did not.
the draft, right? Last year, if you watched it, Rocco Brown was heavily involved in like a lot of those picks.
Yeah, I
Right?
did
He
watch that
was
one.
like a main, yeah. He wasn't there a lot this year, right? You didn't see a lot of Morocco Brown this year, right? I I don't know if it's directly tied to AR. It could be, but again, like these ladies are like they're not, and I think Carly or Casey mentioned it, right? Like you haven't seen them being in a lot of decisions or like be tied to a lot of decisions, but they've been in a lot of meetings and they've been actively involved in the background, right? So my guess is that they know something that occurred, which may or may not be even roster related, and they just don't find it acceptable, right? Maybe it has nothing to do with AR, but it's going to be one of those things where it's like accountability is something that's important, and it could be as simple as like he forgot to turn the lights off in the room before he left his office, right? Like it could be something so simple,
He
right?
left the toilet up.
Or what's that?
He left the toilet seat up.
Yeah, he left the toilet seat. Like it could be something so simple, right? But Uncle Brown being tied to AR, that's all we know, right? But it could be something so simple. I don't. I think we're just trying too much to figure out what it is. When in reality, we're never going to know unless him or the Colts come out and say something. You know what? Maybe what happened is, and if we really want to go conspiracy theory, maybe Anthony Richardson got hurt and he's the one that knew and didn't say anything, and now all this information's coming out, and that's why he was let go. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's that big where it's like you knew Anthony Richardson like 3 weeks ago got hurt, right? Let's just say, and you didn't say anything to anybody. As the guy that's tied to the hip with AR, you put the franchise at risk, right? And now we have to cover our pieces. It could be like something like as drastic as that. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying like if we're talking about like something that's opposite ends of the spectrum, we're never going to know.
Yeah.
So, is it the right thing? I don't know. We'll find out. But you know, things like this happen all the time.
I agree. Anything else on Morocco being terminated? All right, moving forward. This is what Sarah will. She can be able to answer this with um, a lot of excitement. Will, at the end of the day, with all what we know, I'm asking you and I'm asking the chat. Will Daniel Jones be QB1? Go ahead, Arish.
Will Daniel Jones be the starter? Is
Yeah,
that the
will he be
question?
QB1? Yeah, will he be started? Start the season.
If you were to ask me today,
Okay.
yeah. Like as of right now, I think Daniel Jones is QB1. Just for the simple fact that he's available, they're utilizing him. He's practicing. It sounds like he's having a good camp, whatever that means, right? Um, yeah, as of today, yeah, I think Daniel Jones is number one.
What about you, Austin? She said, "No."
Just because I don't,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
just because I, just because I don't want him to be, I'm gonna say no. And AR is just gonna he's just gonna be healthy, just sending it good vibes.
I am on the fence. I would say I'm with Harish right now. Yeah, uh, I give it to. I would say Daniel Jones will be the starter right now, today, June the 10th. Do I expect him to start the season? No. I feel like AR is going to do enough to still get this to win his position, and attempt to have a great season and show the Irsay daughters that they didn't waste a pick on him back in two seasons ago, 2023. So that's my take on it. Right now, Daniel Jones is playing like a starter. He's getting all the reps. He's, I think he was on 7-on-7 today. Drill. He was pretty good. But, of course, there's no tackling. So yeah, right. I mean, I'm on both. I'm on both. I'm on both sides of the fence. So I want AR to start, but right now, Daniel Jones got the lead. Yeah, you said you bitch is crazy. His bitch is crazy. That was I wasn't expecting that, Teresa. But I love you, so yeah, yeah. I don't, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this I think this comment's really important.
Which one? This one here?
Another one before that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. It wouldn't be the first time they hit injuries. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They hit it from Peyton. We had no idea how severe that neck injury was, and then they made it like it was serious. But he was able to. They thought his career was over, but he played 4 or 5 more seasons with the Broncos, going to 2 Super Bowls, winning 1.
The one thing I want
Yeah,
to
I don't
see
know
happen. Oh,
why.
go ahead.
Sorry, I just don't know why the Colts have a history of hiding injuries. Like, what does that do for anybody?
Yeah.
For us,
If we're really trying to hold this organization accountable, I think the entire medical staff needs to get fired.
definitely. Too many injuries, man. Too many injuries.
Well, it's not even so listen, injuries are a part of the game. It's not injuries that's my problem, right? It's this stuff. Oh, it happens. Oh, he's gonna be just fine. He just needs to, eat some popcorn. He's gonna be great. And then like a week later, oh, you know what? He got really bored. He's just gonna go get a second opinion. Like we're just gonna take a look, right? And then it's like, oh, actually no, he's gonna go see a doctor. Oh, 3 weeks later, oh, you know what? Maybe we didn't believe the first doctor. We're gonna go ask the doctor that actually did the surgery, who knows what he's talking about. We're gonna go ask that guy.
Right.
That is to me, that is inconsistency in your medical staff, and to me, that is less about hiding, and maybe you're just not getting the right information up front. It just sounds like they don't have a great medical. I've been saying this for years, right? Even before Andrew Luck stuff.
We thought that when they Rusty, we thought they replaced the one they had with a new one, but he's not.
That guy's stupid too. I'm just gonna say it. Our entire, and I don't even think it's just like the doctor himself. It could be like the trainers. It could be like the massage therapists. It could be like physical therapists. It could be all those people, right? Like the medical staff is huge. And if we're talking about accountability, misdiagnoses and constantly needing second and third opinions, like I get that these people have money, but that's it's not financially responsible, right? To having to consistently go out and get second and third opinions on small things like this, like to me, this is a small thing. We shouldn't be worried about this. But the fact that he has to have a sore shoulder and he needs it's not even a second opinion at this point. It's really technically a third opinion, right? Because it's like I think when it initially came out, it's like, oh, he needs some rest, and then he went and got an MRI. I thought he got an MRI like last night, and now he needs a second opinion on the MRI. So, I think this is also like part of this accountability thing that I'm hoping happens is the medical staff needs to get like something needs to happen in this medical staff because it's been happening for way too long.
Way too long.
So I think that's another thing that needs to get called out.
Was that the same with JT injury? They kind of
every injury.
Yeah, it was kind of the same way with him. They didn't know.
Yeah.
They misdiagnosed him as well. They didn't know what how severe it was, and they
Yeah.
rushed him back, or
So
uh,
you're either playing this week or you're out for the season. We're not really sure.
or something in between. It's never like oh yeah, you're out for 3 weeks. It's like, yeah, he's day to day. Nah, man, he's out for the season. Like what? Yeah,
and then start the
I
season,
think our medical staff is terrible.
and then start the season on a pup, missing 4 games.
Yeah.
So
And then in
moving
3
on.
weeks that gets extended out, right? Oh, you know what? It wasn't 4 weeks. He's actually out for like 8 weeks. Just kidding.
It's yeah. That's the annoying part is that, like you said, we think that things go it's fine based off what they initially said, then turn around. The second when they in front of a camera, oh yeah, he's day to day, and then the next week, oh we're taking day by day again, or he could be out, or he could start. It's always something. It's just like just say he's gonna miss the rest of the season, so we can go ahead and just move forward, and not just continue to just wait on uh, the real injury results. Because right now you guys don't know, or y'all just don't want to tell us. Yeah, you're just trying to keep more fans in the seats, which is selfish. But I know they're business people, but it's selfish. It's selfish. That's what they did with Andrew Luck 2019. They knew that he wasn't going to play, and they sold all those season tickets, and most of them wanted their ticket back, or giving them back because they knew that the season was a fail. You had Brissett and Scott Tozine. Yeah, that was terrible. So yeah, I don't want to be mad again. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Our last and final um, banner is should the Colts sign linebacker Jeremy Pratt and cornerback Jari Alexander. As we know, both got cut from their respectable teams. Jermaine previously played for the Bengals, and Jari played for the Packers. Jari I think he's an All-Pro cornerback, and Jermaine led his team in tackles last year under Lou Aramo. Should we? I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna ask everyone in the chat. Should we sign either one or both of those players? Go ahead, Harish.
No, I don't
No.
think you sign either one.
Okay.
Jair can't stay healthy. Jermaine can't cover.
Oh, well, we already have that problem already with
Yeah.
Zaire. So we don't need that then.
Yeah.
What about you,
It's not
Austin?
simple for me.
Yeah, Jair is pretty injury prone at this point in his career. We don't need more of that, especially we already have that with Juju
Yeah.
Brents in the cornerback room. So I would pass on him personally. Uh, I could see us signing Pratt just because of Lou. And I'm pretty sure two of our linebackers are still coming back from injury. Zaire had something done with his ankle, and I think maybe Carlson had something done as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if we brought in a linebacker and Pratt knows Lou's defense, so I could
You
see it.
just say Jalen is returning from injury or still recovering?
I think so. Zaire
Yeah.
for sure just got out of a boot, but I'm pretty sure Jalen is coming back from something as well. Like, I think they're both will be fine before the season.
So you just add another guy like Jermaine to be in the defense that are already familiar with the DC. He pretty much be up to speed already. He just got to be in the playbook just to learn the terminology all over since he haven't been with his scheme since. But it's just gonna be a little bum and bruises to get back to where he played in last year. Like I said, led the team in tackles on a bad defense. That had a lot of injuries and players departed and went to other teams. So it's gonna be interesting. So you say Jermaine, or you say hell no to either. I say
Yeah,
either.
I'm just tired of the injuries, man. I don't want any more injury prone people on this team.
Well, Jermaine is not injury prone. It
Yeah, but he
just
also can't cover.
yeah, it's the can't cover
In a
part.
system where linebackers can cover, he can't cover. We got it two. We've already got two of those guys.
Well, Lou did say it, in the package you want to have more DBs out there, so maybe may work out. I don't know. So that the DBs will be more covering than the linebacker. So I don't know.
You need
I
more
give it.
DBs that actually play, though.
Ah,
You need more DBs that actually play.
that makes sense as well. Let's see what you're saying.
So, yeah, I mean, you can get all the DBs you want, but if none of them play, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Tree said, just tell us the
So,
truth. Just like Cookie should tell us uh he don't like this or that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What are you doing over there, Cookie? What are you doing to Teresa?
I didn't do nothing.
man,
I don't. I don't mind. I don't mind you calling me Cookie. It's
I'm
fine.
just, as guy my age, I'm not gonna call him Cookie. I know I've said it to be in the episode,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna call him Cookie. Okay, 'cause,
I definitely won't be calling you Cookie.
yeah.
My bad, bro.
But we're at the part of the show where we must end it because we have covered all of the takes surrounding our team. Most of us won't agree with everything that was said. Most of us won't agree with Daniel Jones starting or us moving on from AR. Most won't agree that having Irsay daughters, running the team. Most won't agree with adding those players that I mentioned in uh, Alexander and Pratt. But one thing we can agree on is the Colts. And I've been loving them boys for almost 30 years, or over 30 years. And no matter how much they stress me out like a family member, I still love them. So on that note, you guys, anything you got to say before we go ahead and tell everybody where to follow us? We'll go ahead and let them know where to follow us. I'll put it on the bottom of it's already on the bottom of the screen right now. You can follow me at Who Is Y'all Senior on X. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Threads. You name it. Follow me there. Go ahead, Austin. I'm not gonna call you Cookie. I almost said that, but go ahead.
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter X at Cookie Austin 2.
Go ahead, legend. Not legend killer, but legend.
You can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi. If you're a Longhorn fan, we got a lot going on. We've got this week we have Nash Talks Football, who's big in the Longhorn community. We'll be wrapping up the baseball season. Sorry, Nash Talks Texas, not Nash Talks football. But we'll be talking about the football or the baseball season. Gearing up for football season. Next week, two guests. We've got Eric Henry coming up, and we also have our guy Corey Muse. And then over the next few weeks, we've got a whole slew of guests. So if you're into Texas sports, it's a great time to be a Texas fan. We dominate the SEC in every sport. So we're running the show here.
Can I have a rebuttal to that? I mean, you guys did do good in softball. The women just won that. You didn't say that, but
all in a day's work.
Huh?
All in a day's work. No big deal.
The softball, the women's, division softball women won the national championship just a couple days ago. Shout out to them. But when you say y'all running every sport, y'all don't run in football because when you went to the playoffs, you got smacked by Ohio State. You made us
Where was Alabama this year?
We was at home watching y'all get beat.
Oh, nice. Where was Tennessee this year?
Oh,
Hey, we lost to the same team we lost to.
800 points. Oh, okay. Hey, listen. Based on the SEC sports rankings, Texas has the best athletic program in the SEC. I mean, it's just a fact.
I don't believe that if you don't know who the real UT is. I don't believe that.
I'm telling you who the real UT is. It's Texas. Daddy's home, baby. Daddy is home.
Texas wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Tennessee. So
Texas doesn't need
that's
Tennessee
just
or
history.
anybody.
History says we're the real UT.
Yeah, well, your history is a little jaded. I don't know what they teach in a Tennessee history class, but your history is a little jaded.
But yeah, check out Harish on Thursday nights. What time again?
8:30 p.m. Thursday nights. Next week we'll have 2 shows because we've got 2 guests on 2 different nights. Um, but yeah, we'll figure that out. Maybe we'll get really crazy. Maybe we still have 1 show. No, it'll be 2 shows because got some
Sounds a lot.
scheduling conflicts. So
Yeah, doesn't seem like a lot.
yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be a fun week next week.
ooh, if you need help, let me know. I mean, I'll just be on there trashing y'all, but yeah, I just if you need help.
Yeah, our help will probably be not here. So we'll see.
But
yeah, timing for Wednesday, Thursday next week.
you can follow us again on social media on all platforms at HS Mob Podcast. Subscribe to the channel. But guys, we're gonna get up out of here. A lot of us gotta prepare for work in the morning, eat dinner, and all that good stuff. Kiss our wives. So have a great night, guys, and we'll see y'all next week. Probably won't see Harish because he got everything going. He got a lot going on next week, and we probably won't see him. So we'll probably see him the following week.
That's correct.
Yes, so
So
good night, guys. Say it again.
That's a very good guess.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. But yeah, all right, guys, we're gonna get up out here, guys, and we'll see y'all next week at same time, same place.
On one out, snapping.